Greco.
Good morning. And Marianne, just so you know, whenever anybody's ready, we are ready on Willie Starr and Drake Sanders.
Thank you.
Marianne, do I have a few minutes to just step away for a moment? Probably.
Yes, you do.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 21st, 2023. This is courtroom number 1. I am Judge Martin. Today's docket is exclusively criminal and civil infraction matters from Romulus and Belleville. If you do not have a civil infraction or criminal matter arising from those two cities, you are likely in the wrong place. Court staff will help you to redirect it. My secretary has made me aware that there are 2 things ready. As soon as Mr. Greco, the prosecutor, returns, I will start calling cases. Please be prepared to turn your video on, unmute yourself, and state your name when requested.
Judge, I'm gonna run. I have something that I need to talk to Dan Bitar about. I'll be right back. I'm gonna join his breakout room for a second.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, Mr. Greco.
Good morning, Judge.
We are starting with 1647840T and 1647850M. These are both City of Romulus versus Drake Sanders. Mr. Sanders, turn your video on, unmute yourself and state your name for the record, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Drake Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. The way the court staff have you labeled indicate that you waived your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You've had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor, Mr. Greco.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Greco, how are we proceeding?
On the 4784 charge, we're going to amend that to a no operator's license on person. This is a case that's about 7 years old. And on the other case, the 4785, we're going to dismiss.
Thank you. Mr. Sanders, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Mr. Sanders, after having a conversation with the prosecutor this morning, is it your understanding that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to the amended count of no operator's license on person?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you understand that if the court accepts that plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have an opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
I'm sorry, what was that one more time?
I said, and you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sanders, is it true that on November 7th, 2016, in the city of Romulus, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanders, the court will accept your plea of guilty to no operator's license on person as previously indicated. The driving while license suspended will be dismissed, as will the other citation of the 4785 drug crime. Mr. Sanders, the court will impose a fine of $100. There's cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. There's a $50 bench warrant fee for previous failure to appear and a $15 administrative fee. That's $410. The court is able to apply the bonds that you have posted in these matters, which I believe leaves a balance of $110. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount, sir?
No, ma'am. But on record with the $400 that I have already that I owe you guys, is that part of this, or is that something that I'm just gonna have to still owe separately?
Do you have other matters with the court, Mr. Sanders?
When I came in to resolve my warrants, they said that I had a third warrant that it was about a $400 fine, that I asked him for about a month to pay it off. I just wanted a chance to come into the courtroom and talk about it.
If you have an additional case that I didn't call this morning, I don't have information about it. So if you already have a
Okay.
payment plan for that $400 on that third case, you can talk to the court's collection department and they can put this case on with that case. They can make a single payment plan for all of your outstanding matters.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay? No worries. Anything else, Mr. Sanders?
No, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No worries. You have a wonderful day, sir.
You too. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of yours.
Thank you. This is 21 RP 02614 AOT. This is City of Romulus versus Willie Starr. State
Good
your name for me,
morning,
please, sir.
Good morning, Willie Starr.
Thank you, Mr. Starr. The way the court staff have you labeled indicate that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Greco, the prosecutor.
I have indeed.
Mr. Greco, how are we proceeding this morning?
We are amending the charge of driving while license suspended to no operator's license on person, and Mr. Starr indicated he would like to take that offer.
Mr. Starr, is that an accurate
Yes,
summary of the
yes, it is,
conversation you
ma'am.
had with Mr. Greco?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, sir. Raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down.
Yes.
Mr. Starr, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning to the added count of no operator's license on person, you will not have a trial of any kind in this matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes,
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
I am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
I have not.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes,
Sir, is it true that on October 5th, 2021, the city of Romulus, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
yes,
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Starr, the court will accept your plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person and will dismiss the driving while license suspended case. The court will also impose minimal fines and costs, sir. There's a fine of $100. There's costs of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 show cause fee for prior failure to appear, $50 bench warrant fee, $15 administrative fee, $50 mandatory state costs, $20 fund fee, and a $50 late fee. That's $510. The court is able to apply the bond that you posted, the $150. That will leave a balance of $360. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
no, Your Honor.
Mr. Starr, the court has noted in the file that the bond will be applied and you will have 5 days to pay the remaining balance. Do you have any questions this morning, Mr. Starr?
The fines that I've been assessed this morning, those are separate from any traffic citations that I received the day of the incident, correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay,
You had a no insurance that same day?
yes, ma'am.
That's something different.
Okay, so I just, oh,
Anything else, Mr.? I'm
that will
sorry.
be all, no, that'll be all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You can just exit through that door on your left and court staff
Okay.
will come reset the computer. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
you have a great weekend.
Have a good day.
You as well.
Thank you. These are 23BL 00333 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Gillespie.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Gillespie. I'm standing in for Attorney Jeffrey Bowditch.
State your name for me, sir.
Stephen Gillespie.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Mr. Gillespie appeared at his first two court hearings. Unfortunately, he missed his third court hearing. That's why he's scheduled for a show cause today. He apologizes for not making it on that day.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Batur. Have we seen Mr. Wayne this morning?
I have not seen Mr. Wayne, Your Honor. What I'd like to do with Mr. Gillespie's case is set up for a final pretrial. Mr. Gillespie informed me that Mr. Bowditch has been waiting on discovery from Mr. Wayne and may have not received it. So we would ask that discovery be provided at that or by that final pretrial date.
Before, I heard you, Mr. Batar, but there's an offer in the file that if Mr. Gillespie pleads guilty to the added count of impaired driving, the DWLS second and the operating while intoxicated would be dismissed. Is that something you are in a position to speak to Mr. Gillespie about, or should we just?
I did go over that offer with Mr. Gillespie, Your Honor.
Okay,
Without a police report, it's kind of hard to try and resolve it.
no worries. Mr. Gillespie does not appear to have been arraigned. Are you in a position to address that, Mr. Batar?
Your Honor, with respect to the arraignment, we'll waive a formal reading. Stand mute, please.
Thank you. Mr. Gillespie, were you able to hear Mr. Batar just now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any comment as to bond, Mr. Batar?
Your Honor, I don't think he's any type of flight risk or threat to public safety. We're asking you to give him a personal bond. He will appear at the next court hearing.
Mr. Batar, the court's only concern is Mr. Gillespie's failure to appear previously in these matters, but he has appeared timely and appropriately this morning. The court will set bond at $5,000 personal. Mr. Gillespie, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until the matter is resolved in its entirety. Because the allegations involve a drinking and driving offense, condition of your bond is that you not purchase, possess, consume alcoholic beverages until this matter is resolved or until further order of the court. Mr. Batar has requested the court will make an indication that discovery has been requested. And the pretrial date will be reset at
October 16th at 9:30 with Judge Green.
October 16th at 9:30 and number 3 with Judge Green.
Correct.
That will be by Zoom. Mr. Gillespie, court staff will mail notice of that date, time, and judge assignment to you at the address that you verified. Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gillespie, that concludes this matter, sir. You're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Judge, can I interrupt for a second?
Absolutely.
I see a Kamaya Correo on here, Judge. She was briefly in the MIDC waiting room, and I see Miss Medina's name next to it. She was that individual was a show cause. Mary Ann or Judge, do you know if I need to speak with her or if she should be in the MIDC room?
Yeah, Dan, I sent her an invitation to join the breakout room a few times and she hasn't accepted.
I did the same, Mary Ann, so.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
there's,
sorry, I didn't know that that's what that was for.
That's for you, ma'am. Please go into the breakout room and meet with the attorney from the court appointed staff, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Nunley. How are you this morning, Mr. Harris? Oh, you're muted, sir.
Sorry. Good morning. How you doing?
You're fine. I'm good, sir. I saw you sitting there. And I know that I reviewed your file and now I can't find the paper file. Yep. Good morning, Mr. Wayne.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I am super. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Mr. Batar was on with Mr. Gillespie,
Okay.
and he's indicated that Mr. Bowditch was looking for discovery. We adjourned the matter over to October something, I'm sorry, with Judge Green.
Okay. I think it's the 19th, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the 16th,
16th, I'm sorry. It's a Monday.
yeah, at 9:30. She changed it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Hadley.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing quite well. Yourself?
I'm super. If I could find Mr. Harris's file. Are you ready with something yet, Mr. Hadley?
I have a couple cases with you today, Your Honor. I have a Kevin Banks and a Mr. Ali Ali. I do not know if either of them have appeared yet.
I thought I saw Ali Ali. He's in the waiting room. And it's,
Oh,
as is
I-
Mr. Banks, if you want to jump in and chat with them.
Very good. Mr. Wayne, can I speak with you real quick?
Certainly.
Your Honor, I'm here on Mr. Harris.
Thank you. Give me a moment. I know that I reviewed the file because I have Mark's notes next to it, but I don't see it. I'll be right back.
Take your time.
Okay, Mary Ann. Jeez. This is 23RP038560T. This is City of Romulus versus Kyle Groven. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, Your Honor. David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Kyle Groven.
Mr. Groven, the way the court staff have you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
You've had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor, Mr. Greco.
Yes.
Mr. Greco, how are we proceeding this morning?
We are amending the charge of reckless driving to careless driving, and Mr. Groven has indicated he wants to accept that offer.
Thank you. Mr. Groven, would you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yep.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, as indicated by Mr. Greco, is it your understanding and agreement this morning that you will be tendering a plea of responsible to the added count of careless driving?
Yes.
Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible.
Nope.
You're pleading responsible because you are in fact responsible.
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on July 20th, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you drove carelessly, more specifically, that you drove at a speed greater than you were able to control your vehicle?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, I am.
Sir, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of careless driving, will dismiss the reckless driving. The court will impose fines and costs totaling $200. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
I would like so, yeah.
Then, Mr. Groven, what you'll see is an invitation to go into the breakout room with Maria. She's a court clerk who will help set a payment plan in this matter. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Groven?
Nope.
Please follow the breakout invitation and meet with the collection staff. Have a good day, sir.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. This is 09-20550T. This is the matter of Juan Harris. May I have your appearance, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Good morning, Your Honor. Hassan Zaror, P83043, standing in for Attorney Rebecca Christina Georges on behalf of Juan Harris.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, state your name for me, sir.
Juan Harris.
Thank you. Today is the date and time set for hearing on Mr. Harris' application to set aside conviction. Would you please proceed, sir?
Your Honor, this is an application to set aside a 2009 conviction for operating a license suspended. We received an AG letter indicating that Mr. Harris is eligible to have this conviction set aside should his post-conviction circumstances warrant setting it aside. And also, there's a couple questions to be asked of him. Mr. Harris, when this conviction happened, were you driving a commercial vehicle or your personal vehicle?
Personal vehicle.
Okay, was anybody hurt or injured?
No.
Thank you. So pursuant to the Attorney General letter and his responses, he is fully eligible to have this set aside. His license is now completely valid. He's actually a CDL driver, so he drives trucks. Prior to that, he worked at Great Lakes Wines and Spirits for about 6 years. He has 3 kids and a couple grandkids, and really he's just trying to clean up his record and move forward with his life without these stains on there. He also appears this morning via Zoom should you wish to ask him any questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, what is it that you'd like to tell the court about yourself?
Since that time, I'm definitely ain't the same person. I done got a lot smarter, a lot wiser, and I just been keeping myself out of trouble. And I know getting this case gone would definitely help me in the field that I'm in by not having that on there.
Thank you. Mr. Greco, is there anything you want to say in this matter?
No, Your Honor, other than we have no objection to the relief requested. I have had an opportunity to review the file, speak with the attorney, and review the AG letter. That's it.
Thank you. This court will grant the defendant's application to set aside conviction. Sir, if you will be kind enough to send an order reflective of that to the court, it will be signed. Mr. Harris, congratulations, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there an email address that I can send it to?
Yes, if you look in the chat, my secretary will send you her email address. Send it there.
Excellent. I'll send both of them there, hopefully I'm also here on Kiana Williams.
I know, sir. Let me do these earlier cases and I'll circle back to
Take your time,
Ms.
Your Honor.
Williams.
No problem.
I appreciate you for allowing me to take my time, sir. These are 23BL00482 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Carraro.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Correo, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the City of Belleville.
Ma'am, state your name for me, please.
I'm sorry. I'm Kamai Correa.
Thank you. How are we proceeding, Mr. Batar?
Your Honor, Ms. Correo is going to plead to failure to report an accident, and there will be a dismissal of the DWLS charge. That failure to report is a reduction from the failure to stop at a PD accident.
Thank you. Ma'am, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Ma'am, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Batar. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, is your understanding and agreement that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to failing to report an accident?
Yes.
And ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
You pleaded guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it true that on May the 13th, 2023, in the city of Belleville, you failed to report an accident?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Wayne?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just add one of the conditions of the amended plea was that the defendant would stipulate to probable cause for any and all dismissed counts.
That is correct, Your Honor. Mr. Wayne, thank you for reminding me. Ms. Correa, you're stipulating to probable cause for any dismissed counts. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Wayne?
No, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Bitar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any comments on behalf of your client before fines and costs are imposed, Mr. Bitar?
Judge, she's 19. She has her full license now. She had her permit at the time of the accident. As you can see, she has a baby. We're just asking you to assess fines and costs.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Bitar. Ma'am, the court will impose the following: fines of $100, costs of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 show cause fee for prior failure to appear, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. That's $395. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Possibly.
Then, ma'am, what you'll see is an invitation to go into the collections room with Maria. She will be able to set you on a payment plan in these matters. As part of the plea, the B file, the driving while license suspended, has been dismissed. Good luck to you, ma'am. Please meet with Maria. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brooklyn. Where's that?
It will pop up on your screen in just a moment, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. These are 23BL00751OM, 23BL00618OM, 23BL00645OM, 23BL00601OM, and 23BL00733OM. These are all City of Belleville versus Ali Ali. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor.
morning, Your
Matthew
Honor.
Wayne on behalf of the City of Belleville.
Mr. Hadley appears to have maybe stepped away for a moment. As soon as he comes back, I'll recall these matters in the interim. Let's see if we can handle 063526OT, City of Romulus versus Kiana Williams.
Good morning again, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
State your name, ma'am.
My name is Kiana Williams.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Today is the day and time set for hearing on Ms. Williams' application to set aside conviction. Please proceed with your argument, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity to present this to you, Your Honor. This is a motion to set aside a conviction for operating while license suspended. It is the last thing that appears on Ms. Williams' record. We have received an Attorney General's letter indicating that she is eligible should her post-conviction circumstances warrant it, and should a couple questions that need to be answered are answered correctly. Ms. Williams, when this conviction happened, were you driving your personal vehicle or a commercial vehicle?
My personal vehicle.
Was anybody seriously hurt or injured in this conviction?
No.
Okay, so pursuant to the Attorney General letter, she is eligible. Ms. Williams is currently gainfully employed at ESL Plasma. She's actually right now on personal leave as her mother just recently passed away last week. And she has 4 boys that she takes care of. Her post-conviction circumstances do warrant setting this aside. She is fully eligible. There are no fines, fees, or costs associated with this matter.
Ms. Williams, condolences to you in the loss of your mother.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the court regarding your change in circumstances?
This will really help me move forward, with my life period, with this expungement, because it's been hindering me as far as getting any driving jobs with this on my case. So with this expungement, it helped me a lot.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. The court has had the opportunity to review your application along with the letter from the Attorney General's office, and the court will grant the application setting aside the conviction.
Thank you.
Your attorney will submit an order to that effect to the court staff. It will be signed and sent back out as soon as possible. Anything else, Mr. Zorro, this morning?
No, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank
Hope you
you.
have a good day.
You're welcome. Ms. Williams, you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You have a better one. Thank you.
This is a recall of the Ali matters that end in 601, 751, 618, 645, and 733. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the city of Belleville.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, on behalf of the defendant, Dr. Ali Ali. Your Honor, there are also two other cases with Mr. Ali that are up for arraignment today, ending in 733 and 751. Also both for barking dog.
I called all those cases, sir.
I'm sorry, I did not hear that. I just caught the first three. So we'll waive the
Oh, I
formal reading of.
I
Yeah,
called
this-
5 cases.
Okay, so we'll waive the formal reading on the two new cases ending in 733, 751, enter plea of not guilty. Your Honor, it's also come to our attention that there have been 3 other charges issued by the APA for this related to the dogs and barking dogs, or possibly being abandoned allegedly. I've spoken with Mr. Wayne. I think we're gonna ask to have all of these matters set out for a later date to do a little additional discovery and try to get REMA from the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office involved in a resolution as well.
Thank you. Mr. Wayne, was there anything you wanted to say?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Ali's bond and the 2 new matters will be set at 1,000 personal. Mr. Ali, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed until such time as these matters are resolved. Mr. Hadley, as for the cases that are scheduled for pretrial this morning,
Your Honor, would ask those be adjourned and put out at the same time to be heard with the other, all 5 of those matters on the same date.
we'll get a date from Mary Ann in just one moment, but Mr. Hadley and Mr. Ali, the court has great concerns that there are a number of outstanding animal-related cases, and I understand wanting a global resolution, but I also see that there is one of the complainants on this morning, a Mr. Robert Dawson. And
It's our understanding, Your Honor, that Mr. Dawson, and I'm not gonna put words in his mouth, but I think was gonna give the court a status update that things have actually improved.
That was my intention.
what was your intention?
Dr. Ali has done a remarkable job in the last couple of weeks of controlling his dogs. I have had no complaints. Neighbors have had no complaints. I don't know what he did. I believe he employed some kind of training or bark collars. At any rate, I am a complainant on 4 of these cases, and I quite frankly would like to dismiss them.
Your Honor, in light of that, again, Mr. Ali has voiced the same sentiments that Mr. Dawson just shared with the court. He's aware of the issues. In fact, some of these issues came while he was out of the country and had what I would call a deficient dog sitter. Valuable lesson learned on that one. Mr. Dawson, I thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come in and make that statement. Your Honor, if the prosecution, again, at this point in time, as to the 4 complaints that Mr. Dawson was the complainant on, I would ask that those be dismissed without prejudice at this time. We still have the other pending 1 matter that he's not the complainant on. And then there is these pending state cases that we're still going to work to get resolved next week.
Well, Mr. Hadley, I guess the concern is whether or not Mr. Wayne concurs in this or has had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Dawson. The fact that the Belleville police had to respond and issue citations on multiple occasions, there has to be some consequence for failing to properly prepare to be away with the dogs. And although the court respects Dr. Ali's efforts to improve the situation, Mr. Wayne, do you want to weigh in on Mr. Dawson's request?
Well, seeing if Mr. Dawson is not prepared to go forward, then.
Or do you want me to pass these matters?
if you could give us, if you could let me have a moment with Mr. Dawson, I would appreciate it.
Thank you. And to clarify, which case Mr. Dawson is not the complainant on?
I'm not sure which ones they are. I believe the last one might be one of them.
Well, Mr. Wayne is going to go into a breakout room with you, Mr. Dawson, and get to the bottom of it. When you come back out, I'll just recall the cases in their entirety. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wayne. Thank you, Mr. Dawson. Thank you, Your Honor. I'll sit quietly and wait here.
I appreciate that, Mr. Hadley. These are 22 RP 04387 A, B, and C. These are City of Romulus versus Nicholas Richards. Mr. Richards, state your name for me, please, sir.
Daniel Richards.
Thank you, sir. The way the court staff have you labeled indicate that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct? You have to say it, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Greco, the prosecutor, this morning. Mr. Greco, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I've spoken with Mr. Richards, and he is prepared to plead guilty to the A ticket and the B ticket, which is fail to stop and identify after a property damage accident and expired license. We will dismiss the registration plate misdemeanor violation. I'm recommending time served. Mr. Richards has been incarcerated in Livingston County Jail for 6 months and is going to be sentenced to more time related to an unrelated matter.
Thank you. Mr. Richards, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Mr. Richards, after having the opportunity to speak to Mr. Greco, is it your understanding and agreement that you'll be tendering pleas of guilty to failing to stop or identify after a property damage accident and driving while license expired?
Yes.
Thank you. Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to call witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And sir, you're entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Richards, is it true that on October 30th, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you failed to stop or identify after a property damage accident?
Yes.
Sir, is it also true on that day and time that you were operating a motor vehicle with an expired license? Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes.
Mr. Richards, the court will accept your plea of guilty as indicated on the record and will dismiss the C file, the registration or plate violation. Your sentence in these matters, sir, will be credit for 30 days time served and the matters will be closed. Anything else in these matters, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Richards?
No.
Thank you, sir. You have a wonderful day. Good luck to you on your other matters.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. We're back on the Dr. Ali matters, Mr. Wayne.
Yes, Your Honor.
How are we proceeding, sir?
Provided the defendant will stipulate to probable cause, the city will dismiss the 4 counts in which Mr. Dawson was a complainant, and I leave the imposition of any fines and costs, of course, to the court.
If we're dismissing, what fines and costs?
Any fines or costs, or maybe?
No, well, no. So dismissing 4 and pleading to 1?
As far as the fifth case, that was there was one where Mr. Dawson was that right?
Well, Mr. Wayne, I just heard you say stipulate to probable cause, but
Yes.
dismiss the 4 with Mr. Dawson
Yes,
and no comment on fines and costs. Is that what you said?
Your Honor, I don't remember what I just said.
That's what you said, which suggests to me a plea, which is why I'm super confused.
May I have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Hadley regarding the fifth count?
Absolutely. Do you know which one is the one not involving Mr. Dawson?
Not off the top of my head, I could look at the reports though, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead, if you want to grab Mr. Hadley and go into your room.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Kaplan.
Good morning, Your Honor. I believe Mr. McCullough is in the waiting room. We are ready to proceed on that with an update to the court.
When he is. Where is he? He's waiting for the clerks to.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you trying to look like Mr. Mays?
Me? Should I grow out the mustache?
I want Mr. Mays to come out because it appears that he was summoned for jury duty, which I find the most interesting and amazing development in the world down at Frank Murphy.
Sorry, Mr. Wayne, I hit
Okay.
Charlie, were you? Mr. Ali, Dr. Ali, I'm gonna move you back into a breakout room with me real quick. When you see that, please accept the request.
Of course.
Dave, do you have a second? Are you in the middle of something?
Yeah, we're just gonna put one on the record with Ms. Hazick.
Ms. Hazick, I don't do case numbers. What's your client's name, please, ma'am?
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Anmar Al-Sana.
Yes, AL-Sana.
Two 3RP 04267, City of Romulus versus Anmar Al-Sana. Your appearances, please.
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Good morning, Your Honor. Maddie Hazick on behalf of the defendant Anmar Al-Sana, and I'm covering for attorney on record, Ron McCool.
Thank you. This case was scheduled for pre-hearing this morning. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we're amending the charge of distracted driving to double parking with a recommended fine of $180.
And ma'am, you have full authority from your client to enter the plea of responsible to the added count of double parking?
I do, Your Honor.
The court will accept the plea of responsible to double parking on behalf of the defendant Anmar Al-Sana and will dismiss the original charge of distracted driving. As indicated by the prosecutor, the court will impose a fine of $180. Does your client need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No, Your Honor.
5 days to pay. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Hasek?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. That concludes this matter, ma'am. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well.
Thank you. Too many attorneys and not enough defendants.
Right. Right, so I'll go to my meeting room.
Okay. I'll
Yeah,
make-
please.
Thank you.
This is 2306150M City Romulus versus Cecil Coleman. May I have your appearances, please?
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Coleman, Your Honor.
State your name for me, sir.
Cecil Coleman.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, as to the arraignment, we'll waive a formal reading. Stand mute, please.
There's a bond recommendation asking that bond be set at 10,000, 10%, and a condition of bond be that he have no contact with the victims. Your comment as to bond, Mr. Batar.
Your Honor, Mr. Coleman is 22 years old. He's employed full-time. He details cars. He's done that since the age of 14. He's a graduate of Wayne Memorial High School. He's earned some credit hours at Washtenaw County Community College, Judge. I would ask you to consider a personal bond. He will appear at all future court hearings. He appeared here today.
Mr. Batar, do you know who the victims are relative to the defendant?
I do, Your Honor. They are not friends. They were individuals that he encountered at a Shell gas station on Eureka Road. So we would have no issue with a no contact order with that Shell gas station or the individuals.
Mr. Coleman, the court will set your bond at 5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until the matter is resolved in its entirety. Condition of your bond is that you have no contact with Nabil Grouh, Groughh, and Alzadeen Nashal, and Ezaldeen Nahshal, and that you do not return to the location where this incident occurred.
I have it handy, Your Honor. It's the Shell gas station at 27460 Eureka.
Thank you, sir. And your return date for the pretrial will be?
October 16th at 9:40.
October 16th.
October 16th at 9:40 a.m. That will be by Zoom. Number 3 with Judge Green. And Mr. Coleman, court staff will mail notice of that date and time to return you at the address you verified this morning. Anything else, Mr. Batar?
Your Honor, with respect to that pretrial, we're asking for a final pretrial with where the complainants must appear. I don't think Mr. Greco has any issue with that, and he's going to get me discovery.
Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Batar. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Coleman, you are free to go. You have a wonderful day, sir.
All right, you as well.
Thank you.
Mr. Wayne, if you can hear me, I'm trying to get in your breakout room here.
All right, you want to meet me there?
This is 22 RP 00967 OM, City of Romulus versus Andrew McKenzie. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Royce Nunley on behalf of the defendant.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Andrew McKenzie.
Thank you. Today is the day of time. Go ahead, Mr. Nunley, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. For purposes of the arraignment, we'd waive a formal reading, stand mute. Purposes of the pretrial, we are asking for an adjournment for a final pretrial where the victim must appear. I do not believe that Mr. Greco has any objection to that.
None.
Before we set that final pretrial date, any comment as to bond, Mr. Nunley?
I'd ask the court to just impose a personal bond in this matter. He is here voluntarily. I'm trying to, participate in moving this case forward into resolution.
Thank you. Court will set the bond at 2,000 personal. Mr. McKenzie, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this matter is resolved in its entirety. Your final pretrial date where the complainants must appear is
October 16th at 9:40.
October 16th at 9:40 a.m. That will be back on Zoom in number 3 with Judge Green. Court staff will mail you notice of that date, time, and Zoom information at the address you verified this morning. Anything else in this case, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. McKenzie, you're free to go, sir. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too, Your Honor. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay.
This is a recall of the Dr. Ali matters.
Thank you, Your
How are we
Honor.
proceeding, Mr. Way? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Hadley, doesn't matter to me.
No, Mr. Wayne can take the lead on that.
Having spoken with defense counsel, I think we're just gonna, if we could just do a final pretrial on the 16th of October. Or whenever whatever the court's pleasure.
On all of the cases?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay.
With the note, I mean, again, we all heard what the complaining on the 4 of the 5 said. I think we're just still working on getting a general global resolution worked out between the parties here.
I understand. Thank you. Do we know which one Mr. Dawson is not the complainant
I can go
on?
through the discovery, Your Honor. I will advise the court next time exactly which one he is not the complainant on.
Well, it will be Judge Green, so I'll make a note in the file that he was here in all of the files, so then whatever one it turns out, we'll at least know that Mr. Dawson appeared. Final pretrial will be on
October 16th at 9:30.
at 9:30 in number 3 with Judge Green back on Zoom. Does Mr. Dawson or the complainant need to appear on that date, Mr. Wayne and Mr. Hadley?
Having spoken with Mr. Dawson, I would say that it's not necessary.
We would agree, Your Honor, unless his position has changed and he wants to be heard again by the court. I think he was pretty clear.
Thank you. Dr. Ali, notice of this new date time with judge assignment will be mailed to you at the address you verify with court staff. You have a wonderful day, sir. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hadley, can we meet for a second? I just need some information from you. Just
Mr.
contact
Ali,
information.
actually, I'm gonna have to give you a phone call when I'm done. I'm in the middle of a court session right now. Can I call you once we wrap up here in a little bit?
That's fine. I just need some contact information. That'd be good.
All right, let me with you real fast. That's okay.
Oh, okay.
These are 23BL00775 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Jaden McClendon. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the city of Belleville.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Jaden McClendon.
Turn your video on for me, please. Thank you. Mr. McClendon, which of the MIDC staff did you speak to? Do you recall?
I actually don't recall.
Mr. Bitar, are you with Mr. McClendon?
No, Your Honor, I'm with Mr. Erickson.
Mr. McClendon, sit tight. Someone will claim you here momentarily.
Okay.
These are 23BL00763 A, B, and C, City of Belleville versus Corey Erickson. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the city of Belleville.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Erickson, Your Honor.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Corey Stewart Erickson.
Thank you. Mr. Bitar, how are we proceeding in these matters?
Your Honor, Mr. Erickson is going to plead to driving on a suspended license. The 2 civil infractions will be dismissed.
Thank you. Mr. Erickson, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to discuss these cases with Mr. Bitar, and is your understanding and agreement that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to driving while license suspended, and that disobeying a traffic control device and no proof of insurance would be dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
I am.
Mr. Erickson, is it true that on August the 15th, 2023, in the city of Belleville, you were driving while your license was suspended?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Wayne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Bitar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Erickson, the court will accept your plea of guilty to the driving while license suspended, and as indicated previously, dismiss the 2 civil infractions. Mr. Bitar, is there anything you'd like to say before fines and costs are imposed in this matter?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Erickson, the court will impose the following: a fine of $300, cost of $100, their $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. That's $545, sir. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Erickson, what you'll see is an invitation to go into the breakout room. You'll meet with a member of the court's collection staff. They will help set a payment plan in this matter. Anything further, Mr. Wayne?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further, Mr. Bitar? Oh, we lost Mr. Bitar. Mr. Erickson, please go into the breakout room.
Yes,
Sorry,
ma'am.
Judge, I jumped the gun. Nothing further on that case.
Thank you. Mr. Erickson, please go into the breakout room, meet with Maria to set your payment plan. Mr. Kaplan or Mr. Hadley? Did he have dark hair or light hair, Mr. McClendon? Do you recall?
It was kind of light,
Okay, then it's Mr. Hadley, who I believe is in the building on other matters. There's nothing else ready. If Mary Ann, if something comes ready, let me know. I'm just gonna step out in the hall and see if I can grab Mr. Hadley.
All right.
Oh. Mr. Mays, what do you have, sir?
Good morning, Your Honor. I've got Christopher McKay, but I had submitted a stip and order signed by the prosecutor to adjourn it because I've got really bad service. I'm in a remote location.
23BL005020D. Vacation my Aunt Fanny. Mr.
And I thought it
Wayne,
was a
any
Judge Oakley in
objections?
person.
Mr.
sorry, Your
Wayne,
Honor?
any objection?
No.
The new pretrial date will be
October 16th at 9:40.
16. All right, thank you very much.
that's
you, Your
Judge Green, Mr. Mays.
Okay. Thank you,
Take
Your
care,
Honor.
sir.
Have a great day. You too.
You too. This is 23RP03930B. This is City of Romulus versus Courtney Warren. Your appearance, please.
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Daniel Batur on behalf of Courtney Warren, Your Honor.
Unmute yourself, state your name for me, please.
Rebecca Dilworth.
No, Courtney Warren.
Courtney Warren.
Thank you. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding in this matter this morning?
Your Honor, Ms. Warren is going to plead to double parking. And I believe that was stipulated fine of, was it $200, Mr. Greco?
Yes, Your Honor. Or yes, Dan.
Thank you.
Raise your right hand for me, please, Ms. Warren. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
True. It's true.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. You've had a chance to meet with Mr. Batari. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation with Mr. Batari, you're understanding an agreement that you will be pleading responsible to the added count of double parking and the failing to display a license will be dismissed.
Yes.
You understand the court accepts your plea this morning. You will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Okay.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Is it true that on July 24th, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Warren, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking and will dismiss the underlying, with the original misdemeanor in this matter. I'm sorry, Mr. Batar, the fine?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last thing you said, Judge.
The fine?
$200.
$200. Ms. Warren, do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
An extra week. Till next Friday.
Next Friday isn't quite two, let's say 14 days to pay?
Yeah.
Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Warren, you're free to go. Don't forget 14 days to pay $200. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Mr. Hadley, are you 23BL00775 A and B, City of Belleville versus McClendon?
I am not. I'm here on Kevin Banks.
Well, no one's claiming Mr. McClendon's cases. It must be Mr. Kaplan. Give me a second. This is 23BL00342OM, City of Belleville versus Kevin Banks. Your appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the city of Belleville.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, on behalf of the defendant. Excuse me, Mr. Kevin Banks.
Mr. Banks, state your name for the record, sir.
Kevin Banks.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial in this matter. Mr. Hadley, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I've had a chance to speak with Judge Oakley on this matter. There is a parallel case at a Van Buren Township. What we're asking is that both of these cases be set for a date with Judge Oakley to address both the new charge and the potential violation from the prior delinquency case.
6 minutes.
Does Judge Oakley have a date for that case as of yet, Mr. Hadley?
He does not. The Register of Actions, Your Honor, indicates that they were holding the case in abeyance until this case got some traction and started moving again.
Mr. Wayne, is that your understanding?
I have no knowledge of this, Your Honor.
Oh,
I don't object, but I don't have any knowledge of
Yeah,
it.
Your Honor, I guess I just basically had an ex parte communication with Judge Oakley that I'm admitting to without Mr. Wayne present. I'm sorry, I'm at the court right now. I just went and spoke with him in person. So let me disclose to Mr. Wayne in the court that that's what happened. That's where that information came from.
Mr. Wayne, if you have no objection, the court will make a note on the Register of Actions that this file is to go to Judge Oakley for his secretary to coordinate a scheduling date that matches the Van Buren case with this Belleville case. And we'll send out notice to Mr. Hadley and Mr. Banks at that date, for that date.
We greatly
No
appreciate
objection.
that, Your Honor. Thank you,
And
Mr. Wayne.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Wayne, in this matter?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Wayne. We'll wait for that notice. Appreciate the court's time.
Thank you. You're free to go, Mr. Banks. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
These are 200332OT and 200331OT. These are both City of Romulus versus Damon Jackson. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Royce Nunley appearing on behalf of the defendants, Your Honor. Ms. Jackson, please state your name for the record.
Damon Jackson here.
The date and time.
Turn your video on, please. Thank you. Mr. Nunley, these cases are both in warrant status. They are scheduled for arraignment pretrial today. How are we proceeding?
Purposes of the arraignment, we'd waive a formal reading and stand mute. Purposes of the pretrial, I'm just asking for an adjournment on this matter so that my client can gather some information that may be helpful to a resolution in this matter.
Thank you, sir. The court will recall the warrants in both of these cases.
Okay.
Set your bond at 5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is appear as directed by the court until the matters are resolved. The pretrial date will be,
October 5th at 10 o'clock.
Is there any way that I could get a different date? I'm live in circuit court that day.
Sure, October 16th at 9:50.
Perfect.
October 16th at 9:50. That will be on Zoom in number 3 with Judge Green. Ms. Jackson, notice of that date, time, and judge assignment will be mailed to you at the address you verify with court staff. Anything else in these matters, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing further, Judge.
Ms. Jackson, you're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
You too, thank you.
You're welcome.
Open that door. Go ahead, Ed.
These are, Mr. Nunley, did you speak to Mr. McClendon?
I did, yes.
Oh, I've called these cases now. This is the third time. 23BL00775 A and B, City of Belleville versus McClendon. Your appearance, please.
Yeah, Royce Nunley appearing on behalf of the defendant, Mr. McClendon. Could you please state your name for the record, sir?
Jaden McClendon.
Thank you. Mr. Nunley, how are we proceeding?
Purposes of the arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. For purposes of the pretrial, Mr. McClendon would like to accept the offer tendered by the prosecutor, which is to plead guilty to driving with the expired license with a deferred sentence and for dismissal of the speeding ticket. I do not know how many months the offer didn't indicate, so I would leave that to Mr. Wayne.
I talked to Cindy. I told her working because my son said he can't walk. I got to take him to the doctor. Told me to.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wayne, did you?
6 months, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. McClendon, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. May I put your hand down? Sir, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Nunley regarding this matter, and is your understanding and agreement this morning that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to operating while license expired?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand, sir, that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or stand cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, is it true that on August 16, 2023, in the city of Belleville, you drove while your license was expired?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Wayne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Nunley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, the court will accept your plea of guilty to driving while license expired. As previously indicated, this plea is taken pursuant to 771.1. Your sentence will be delayed for a period of 6 months, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan. Pay the court cost of $300. 6 months from now, the court will review the matter administratively for dismissal. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay the $300?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McClendon, what you'll see is an invitation to go into the collection room. You'll go in there, you'll meet with Maria. She'll set you on a payment plan for that $300. Okay, sir?
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Wayne?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good luck to you, Mr. McClendon. Mr. McCandless?
Yes, Your Honor. We're ready.
I'm having a Dickens of a day with this.
Oh, that's okay. The name's Mohammed.
No. Oh, paper file, that's why.
Okay.
Two 3 RP 04293OI, City of Romulus versus Mohammed Ercole.
Yes, Your Honor. David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Glenn McCandless for Mr. Urkel.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the pre-hearing in this matter. How are you proceeding, Mr. McCandless?
Judge, we're gonna accept the city's offer to, double parking here with a $200 fine is what they request.
And sir, you have full authority from your client to enter the plea of responsible.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court accepts the plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, will dismiss the disobeying the stop sign, and impose fines of $200. Does your client need more than 5 days to pay, sir?
Judge, can we have 2 weeks?
7 days to pay. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. McCandless?
No, Your Honor. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir.
Your Honor, for the court's information, I will be standing in for Attorney Kaplan for Dylan McAuliffe.
Thank you. This is 22BL000960. This is City of Belleville versus Dilworth. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the city of Belleville.
Good morning, Rebecca Dilworth.
Ms. Dilworth, who did you speak to from the MIDC staff?
Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Dilworth, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Batar.
You're welcome.
Mr. Batar, today is the day and time set for the show cause arraignment and pretrial. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Ms. Dilworth is going to plead to failure to report an accident.
Thank you. Ms. Dilworth, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Batar. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, is your understanding that you'll be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of failing to report an accident?
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, you understand if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
Ma'am, is there something else that has your attention right now?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. No. Ma'am, you understand you will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on December 17, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you failed to report an accident?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Wayne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to failing to report an accident, dismiss the original charge of failing to stop or identify after a property damage accident. The court will impose the following fines: $100 fine, $100 in costs. There is $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $100 show cause fees, $50 warrant fee, $15 administrative fee, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. That is $510. The court is able to apply your bond of $150. That leaves a balance of $360. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes. I was trying, is there a way I can be on a payment plan? I'm on a payment plan, $400 right now.
Absolutely, Ms. Dilworth. The court will move you into the collections room. You'll meet with Maria. She's able to add today's file to your existing payment plan with the court that appears to start on October 2nd. So please follow that invitation to go into the breakout room with Maria, okay?
I have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
You said there was a $50 bond fee. I already paid the, warrant fee. I already paid the warrant.
You posted $150 bond to lift the existing warrant, but what I'm saying is there were fees associated with failing to appear previously.
Okay. All right.
Anything else, Ms. Dilworth?
Nope, that's all.
Okay, you'll see an invitation to go into the breakout room. Please go there to have this added to your payment plan. Good luck to you, ma'am. This is 2101680D, City of Romulus versus Dylan McAuliffe. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, Your Honor. David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus. think Royce, you're on this one, right?
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. Royce
Oh.
Nunley appearing on behalf of attorney of record Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the defendants.
State your name for me, please, Mr. McCullough.
Dylan McCullough.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial. Mr. Nunley, how are we proceeding?
We are asking for one more adjournment for sobriety court screening in this matter. Joshua Kaplan spoke with Shannon Rapp, and she is revising his application and will have an answer by October 3rd.
That new pretrial date will be
October 5th at 10 o'clock.
October 5th at 10 a.m. That will be on Zoom with Judge Green. And number 3, Mr. McCallum, court staff will mail notice of that new date and time to you at the address you verified. Just as a reminder, you owe the court $1,077 on some other outstanding matters. If you have not already done so, sir, please get in contact with the court's collection department and set payment plans on these matters. This is a no insurance, a failure to display, and a speeding ticket. You can go onto the court's website. There is a click button that says contact us. You drop down, you submit a request for a payment plan, or you may go into the breakout room this morning and speak with Maria about setting a payment plan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else in this matter, Mr. Nunley?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. McCallum, are you prepared to speak to Maria this morning about payment plans on these other cases?
Not exactly, no, just.
Then, sir, you're free to go. Have a wonderful day. These are 23BL00734 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Jonas Posen. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the City of Belleville.
Please, this honorable court, Gerard Scanlon, P number 74992, bring on behalf of Mr. Posen. Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Posen, please unmute yourself and state your name for the record.
Jonas Posen.
Thank you. Mr. Scanlon, the court did receive an indication that this matter will be adjourned for discovery. Did you want to complete the arraignment this morning, or did you want this matter adjourned in its entirety?
As for the arraignment, Your Honor, we'll wait for the reading stand mute.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Posen, the court will set your bond at $5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this matter is resolved in its entirety. Your adjourned pretrial date will be
October 16th at 9:50.
October 16th at 9:50 a.m. That will be on Zoom in number 3 with Judge Green. Mr. Posen, notice of this new date, time, and judge assignment will be mailed to you at the address that you verified with court staff. Mr. Scanlon, the court appreciates your rising for the hearing. Is there anything else in this matter, Mr. Wayne?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Scanlon?
Not at all, Your Honor. You have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Mr. Posen, you're free to go. You have a wonderful day, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Wayne, there's an attorney in your waiting room.
Okay. See who it is.
This is 23RP042530T, City of Romulus versus Danielle Green. May I have your appearance, please?
Yes,
Good
Your
morning,
Honor.
Your Honor.
David Greco. Oh, go. Yeah, Your Honor. David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
And good morning, Your Honor. Miles Drew on behalf of Mrs. Danielle Green, P number 84554. Ms. Green, could you please state your name for the judge?
Danielle Green.
Thank you, Mr. Giroux. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Ms. Green would like to avail herself to the plea offer in the file, which is to plead guilty to one count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, and in exchange for that, the count of driving on a suspended license will be dismissed.
That's correct.
Thank you, ma'am. Raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Ma'am, you had the opportunity to meet with your attorney, and it's your understanding and agreement this morning that you'll be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlawful driver to drive.
Yes.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I understand.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on August 10, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you allowed an unlawful driver to drive?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Giroux?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlawful driver to drive and will dismiss the original charge of driving while license suspended. Sir, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client before fines and costs are imposed?
Briefly, Your Honor, Ms. Green is eligible to get her license back and go in front of the Secretary of State to petition them. She has hired an attorney named Daryl Wood to do so. I believe she will have her license back in fairly short order, and this should not be an issue before the court again, Your Honor. For those reasons, we think fines and a cost would be appropriate.
Thank you, ma'am. The court will impose minimal fines and costs in this matter. There is a fine of $100. There's cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state costs and $20 fund fee. That's $345. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No, Your Honor.
5 days to pay, and that will conclude the matter. Anything else on behalf of the city of Romulus, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else on behalf of Ms. Green?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Green, good luck to you. You have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you so much. You as well.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
I hope
you.
you and your staff have a great day.
You too, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have we seen Mr. Martinez, attorney, this morning?
Yes, Judge, he's in with the Belleville prosecutor.
Thank you. Ms. Vasquez, I will call your case in just one moment. I'm stepping off. Mr. Martinez is actually scheduled a little bit earlier, so whichever attorney is out when I return, I will call that case first.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Royce. Royce. One, two.
Yeah.
Royce.
Yeah.
The kind of a ticket says kind of I was on the Huron Drive.
Hold on. I gotta move you to the breakout room. Hold on.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
These are 22BL006, excuse me, 22BL00867 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Tomas Martinez. May I have your appearances, please?
Thomas Gotti for Mr. Martinez.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Thomas Martinez. Thomas Martinez.
Thank you, sir. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial of these matters. There are currently warrants in place on both of these matters. How are we proceeding this morning?
Judge, would it be possible for me to have a brief breakout room with Mr. Martinez? I did speak to the prosecutor, and I would just like to go over the offer with him.
Absolutely, sir. We'll get you moved into a breakout room with him.
Thank you,
This
Judge.
is 23RP041150T. This is City of Romulus versus Norma Vasquez. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, Your Honor. David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Royce Nunley on behalf of the defendant. Do you state your name for the record, please, ma'am?
Norma Chapa Vasquez.
Thank you, Mr. Nunley. How are we proceeding?
Purposes of the arraignment, waive formal reading, stand mute. Purposes of the pretrial, she's going to accept the offer, pleading responsible to double parking for a charge of $200 in exchange for dismissal.
Thank you. Ma'am, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to meet with Mr. Nunley, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And after having that conversation, is your understanding and agreement that you'll be tendering a plea of responsible to the added count of double parking and that the allowing an unlawful driver to drive will be dismissed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Nunley expressed to you the rights you'd be giving up by entering this plea of responsible?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you still wish to proceed with that plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, is it true that on August 7, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
You're muted.
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Nunley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking and will dismiss the original misdemeanor matter. The court will impose a fine of $200. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No, ma'am. No, Your Honor.
Thank you. 5 days to pay, and that will resolve the matter. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, you're free to go. You have a wonderful day. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Your Honor.
These are 23BL00787 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Gian. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the city of Belleville.
Morning, Your Honor. Royce Nunley appearing on behalf of the defendant. Mr. Jiang, would you please state your name for the record?
My name is Heejun John. Yeah.
John, thank you, sir. Mr. Nunley, how are we proceeding this morning?
For the arraignment, we waive formal reading, stand mute. For purposes of the pretrial, Mr. Jiang is going to accept the offer by the prosecutor, which is dismissal of both charges in exchange for pleading responsible to double parking. There was not a dollar amount indicated in the offer, so I would leave that to Mr.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Wang.
I apologize. I thought Mr. Nunley asked me for an amount. I may have misunderstood him.
Yeah, on the plea sheet, there wasn't an amount for the double parking. I don't know if there is a standard amount that is your policy.
I would defer to the court.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Mr. Wang?
I would defer to the court on that matter.
Mr. Jan, raise your right hand for me, please, sir.
Yeah.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah, true.
Thank you. May
Yeah.
put your hand down.
Yep.
Sir, you spoke to Mr. Nunley and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties?
Yes, I understand.
And after having that conversation, you wish to plead responsible to double parking?
Yes, I understand.
And Mr. Nunley explained the rights you'd be giving up by entering that plea?
Yeah,
And that is how you wish to proceed.
yeah, Your Honor.
Sir, is it true that on August 19, 2023, in the city of Belleville, you were double parked?
Yep, yep,
Satisfied, Mr. Wayne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Nunley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of responsible to double parking and will dismiss the original misdemeanor along with the impeding traffic citation. The court will impose a fine of $200. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
yeah, $200. Yes,
Can you pay that in 5 days, sir?
yeah, I will do. So,
Thank you. 5 days to pay. That concludes this matter, sir. You're free to go.
yeah, I understand.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Recalling 867 A and B, Martinez.
Ready, Your Honor.
How are we proceeding, sir?
Yes, Judge, I did get an offer from the prosecutor, and my client would like to accept that offer.
I'm looking for it, sir. I don't see it. What's the offer?
Mr. Martinez would would plead to operating while visibly impaired, the driving while license suspended, and the OWI would be dismissed, and he would stipulate to probable cause in all matters.
Mr. Martinez, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, you've had the opportunity to discuss these cases with your attorney, and it's your understanding and agreement that you will be tendering a plea of guilty this morning to operating while visibly impaired, and that the other matters will be dismissed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I understand.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes. Yes,
Is
ma'am.
it true that thank you, sir, on October 16, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you operated a motor vehicle while you were visibly impaired by some intoxicant?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, would you like to inquire further of your client?
No, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Wayne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Ruddy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, the court will accept your plea of guilty to operating while visibly impaired. The court has recalled the court has recalled the outstanding warrants in both of these matters.
Thank you.
Was there any conversation about sentencing this matter? The matter usually is referred to the probation department, but I noticed that Mr. Martinez is in custody.
There was no agreement to sentence, Your Honor, but Mr. Martinez is in the Monroe County Jail and has been since July 12th and will remain there until November 16th.
Then what the court will do is refer the matter to the probation department and leave it to Anthony Grant, this court's agent, to coordinate interviewing Mr. Martinez and developing a sentence recommendation. Anything else, Mr. Wayne?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else on behalf of Mr. Martinez?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Martinez, I will see you for sentencing, sir. You have a
Okay.
good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
This is 23BL00785 OM, City of Belleville versus Alyssa Mario. May I have your appearance, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the city of Belleville.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Miss Mario, Your Honor.
State your name, ma'am.
Alyssa Mario.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, as to the arraignment, we'll waive a formal reading. Stand mute, please.
Ma'am, the court will set your bond in this matter at 1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this matter is resolved in its entirety. Mr. Batar, for purposes of pretrial.
Your Honor, what we're asking for is adjournment for 60 days. This is a matter where Miss Mario has an RV that is parked in her driveway. She is going to try and remedy the situation, but she needs some time to do that. She has to find a place to either place the RV or sell the RV. So that's why we're asking for the 60 days.
Any objection, Mr. Wayne?
No, Your Honor.
That adjourned pretrial date will be
November 16th at 9 o'clock.
November 16th at 9 a.m. That's in number 3 on Zoom with Judge Green. Ms. Mario, court staff will mail notice of that new date and judge assignment to the address that you verified previously. Anything else, Mr. Wayne?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
Mary Ann, what was that time again?
9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Mario, you're free to go. You have a good day.
Miss Mario, don't go anywhere. I'm going to move you to a different room. I need to talk to you one more time, okay?
Yep.
Okay. Are you ready, Mr. Jadala?
Ready when the court is, Judge.
I'm sorry?
I'm ready when the court is, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you. 23RP021420M, City of Romulus versus Randall Royster. Your appearances, please.
Your Honor, respectfully, Samuel Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Royster. Mr. Royster, please say your name for the record.
Randall Royster.
Your Honor, today's the
Mr.
date and time. I'm sorry, it's the date and time set for a final pretrial. I've spoken with Mr. Greco. He's verified that complaining witnesses have failed to appear. At this time, Your Honor, we respectfully request a dismissal on these matters.
Thank you. Mr. Greco is not in this main session. Mr. Jadala, the court will take your word as an officer of the court that you've had that conversation, that the complainants have failed to appear, and will grant your motion to dismiss. That concludes this matter. Mr. Royster, you're free to go, sir. You have a wonderful day.
I appreciate you, Ms. Martin. Thank you.
Judge, I just wanted a little housekeeping. I believe Mr. Nundley has a rendered a court hearing, so I'm going to be taking over in his stead as MIDC, if that's okay with the court.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
This is 23RP026960M, City of Romulus versus Eric Cottle. Cottle, may I have your appearances, please?
Do I just need to say my name?
No. Usually I would have you speak, sir. My apologies. It's a little early. Your case is scheduled till 10:30 and there were witnesses who were to appear. So if you sit tight, I'll get back to you closer to your scheduled time, sir.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you. This is 23BL00684COT. This is City of Belleville versus Nicole Beelan. The matter was scheduled at 8 a.m. It is now 10:15 by the court's clock. Defendant has failed to appear for a second time. The bench warrant shall issue in this matter 5,000, 10%. This is 23RP03804BOT. This is City of Romulus versus Daryl Dawson. The matter was scheduled at 8 a.m. It's now 10:16. By this court's clock, defendant has failed to appear for a second time in this matter. Bench warrant shall issue 5,000, 10%. These are 23RP04501 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Portia Jackson. May I have your appearances, please?
Royce Nunley appearing on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor. Ms. Jackson, could you please state your name for the record?
Portia Jackson.
Thank you. Mr. Nunley, how are we proceeding?
So at this time, Mr. Greco has agreed to dismiss the misdemeanor charge, the violation of parental responsibilities. And my client would like to set the other matter for a formal hearing.
The B file is dismissed. The A file, failing to change address or registration or license, will be set for a formal hearing on.
Give me 1 second, please.
Yes, ma'am.
October 5th at 11:15.
Formal hearing on the civil infraction, Ms. Jackson, will be set on October 5th at 11:15 a.m. That's on Zoom with Judge Green. Notice will be mailed to you at the address you verified with court staff, okay?
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you and have a blessed one.
Thank you. This is 23RP 03980 AOT. This is City of Romulus versus Michelle Lane. The matter was scheduled at 8 o'clock. It's now 10:19 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this matter, bench board shall issue 5,000, 10%. These are 23RP 04479 A, B, and C. These are City of Romulus versus Erica Butler. Ms. Butler, unmute yourself, state your name for the record, please.
My name is Erica Butler.
Thank you. Ms. Butler, the way court staff have you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Ma'am, you intend to proceed on your own in these matters?
Excuse me?
I said, do you intend to proceed on your own in these matters?
As far as the speeding ticket?
Ma'am?
Yes.
You've had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor, Mr. Greco, this morning?
Yes, I did.
Mr. Greco, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we're going to dismiss the misdemeanor fail to display license. Ms. Butler is going to plead straight up to the no proof of insurance civil infraction ticket. And we are going to amend the speeding ticket to a double parking ticket. I told her the fine on that was $200.
Thank you. Ms. Butler, raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Ma'am, you have the opportunity to speak to Mr. Greco, and it's your understanding and agreement this morning that you will be tendering a plea of responsible to the added count of double parking and responsible to no proof of insurance, and all other matters will be dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas in these matters this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Okay. Oh,
And
yes.
ma'am, are you entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible?
No.
You're pleading responsible because you are in fact responsible.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
I said, yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ma'am, is it true that on August 28, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you were operating a motor vehicle with no proof of insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it also true on that date and time location that you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, the court accepts your pleas on these civil infractions, on this parking ticket and the civil infraction as indicated. As for the double parking, the A file, the court will impose fine of $200. On the B file, the no proof of insurance, the court will impose fines of $220. And the misdemeanor failing to display a valid license will be dismissed. That total will be $420. Do you need more than 5 days to pay those amounts?
5 days is fine.
5 days to pay, and that will conclude the matters. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Butler, you're free to go. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 23RP0387 AOT. This is City of Romulus versus Robert Reeves Jr. Case was scheduled at 8 o'clock. It is now 10:24 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time, bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. Two three RP 03829 AOT, City of Romulus versus Christopher Rose. The case was scheduled at 8 a.m. It's now 10:25 a.m. by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time, bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. This is 23RP 04573OM, City of Romulus versus Kylie Michalak. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of Kaylee Michalak. And Judge, just so you know, there is a second woman with blonde hair that is in the screen, and that's Marissa Michalak. She's going to represent herself because I can't represent two when I'm appointed. It would be a conflict.
Understood. As for the matter of Kylie Michalak, the matter is scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Kylie is going to, plead guilty to trespassing, and that will be 771.1 for 3 months.
Ma'am, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Ma'am, you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Batar this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, is your understanding and agreement that you will be tendering a plea of guilty as charged to trespass?
Yes.
Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on August 30th, 2023, in the City of Romulus, you were trespassing by entering into property owned by Metro World between Wicks, Smith, Ecorse, and Wayne Roads?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty as charged for the trespass. As indicated previously, the sentence will be taken pursuant, the plea will be taken pursuant to 771.1. Sentence will be delayed for a period of 3 months. The court will impose costs of $200. Ma'am, so long as you pay that amount, incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan for that 3-month period, the matter will be administratively reviewed for dismissal. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes.
Judge, could
How
she
long
have
do you need,
14
ma'am?
days, please? 14 days?
Thank you, Mr. Batar. Absolutely, 14 days to pay. Anything else in this case, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. This is 23 RP 04574OM. This is City of Romulus versus Marissa Michalak. State your name for me, please, ma'am.
Marissa Michalak.
Ma'am, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. Mr. Batar has indicated that you will be representing yourself in this matter. Is that correct?
Yes.
Ma'am, have you had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor, Mr. Greco?
No.
Yeah,
Mr. Greco, do you want to get moved into a breakout room with Ms. Michalak?
I can. They may have been, I know Mr. Batar was not representing her, but let me talk. He may have tendered what the plea is since they were doing the same
did.
thing. But
Yeah, he told me it
Okay.
was the same plea and everything. He just couldn't represent
Okay.
me and her.
That's fine. So we're prepared to go on the record, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Michelak, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties?
Yes.
And you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor to plead guilty to trespass as charged?
Yes, I do.
Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, I am.
Is it true that on August 30th, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you trespassed on land owned by Metro World Property located at between Wick Smith Ecorse and Wayne Roads?
Yes.
And ma'am, you had no legal authority to be there?
Correct.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. And just to be clear, this is also taken under 771.1 for 3 months. Yeah.
Thank you. Ms. Michelak, the court accepts your plea of guilty as charged to trespass at the cited property. As indicated, plea is taken pursuant to 771.1. Sentence will be delayed for a period of 3 months so long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan. Pay the court cost of $200. The matter will be administratively reviewed for dismissal. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes. May I also have 2 weeks?
Absolutely. 14 days to pay $200 will conclude the matter. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Michelak?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're free to go. Thank you for your patience. Have a wonderful day.
You do the same.
Thank you. Ms. Medina, are we ready on Mr. Cotto, or do you need to speak to Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor, I believe we are ready.
This is 23RP026960M, City of Romulus versus Eric Cotto. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, Your Honor. David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
And Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Cotto. Mr. Cotto, would you please say your full name for the record?
Eric Cotto.
Thank you. Today was a day. Sorry, Ms. Medina, please proceed.
I apologize, Your Honor. Your Honor, at this time, I would make a motion the court to withdraw in this matter. There has been a breakdown, a substantial in my communication with Mr. Cotto.
Sir, were you able to hear Ms. Medina's motion just now? Mr. Cotto,
Yes, ma'am.
you heard Ms. Medina's motion just now?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did, ma'am.
Sir, is your agreement that there's been a breakdown of the attorney-client relationship?
I just know that I didn't get a discovery until yesterday afternoon. From what I've been told, I know Daniel Batar looked at the discovery 2 pre-trials ago, and then nobody's had any information on it until yesterday. Miss Medina contacted me and told me one of her interns.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
no. We can't get into the conversation you had with her.
Oh.
My question was, is it accurate that there's been a breakdown of the
Yes,
attorney-client
ma'am.
relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have no objection to Ms. Medina withdrawing from the case?
No, that's fine.
Ms. Medina, your requested withdrawal is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This case was actually scheduled for final pretrial this morning. Mr. Greco, is your complainant?
Your Honor, the complainant was not required to show. They had shown twice
Nope.
before.
They've only shown
I
once
see
before,
that-
Your Honor, and I was late to that court date, and I've been at every one since.
Mr. Cottle, respectfully, my notes indicate that the complainant was here on August the 3rd and did not need to appear further. The matter was adjourned from September 7th till today. Ms. Medina is now withdrawn. Mr. Greco, how are we proceeding?
Well, I haven't talked personally with Mr. Cottle. We do have a plea offer that's been tendered out there. I'm not sure if he's willing to entertain it or not.
No, I'm not.
So my suggestion would be to set for another final pretrial. Mr. Cottle can have the opportunity to hire an attorney if he wants, I suppose, that can reach out to me before that. And if not, if we don't have a resolution at the next court date, we can set the matter for trial.
No, I would rather set it for trial, Your Honor.
That's fine.
I
Come
heard
on.
you, sir. Give me just one moment, please.
Come on.
Mr. Cottle, do you want a in-person trial or a Zoom trial?
I'd like to be in person, ma'am.
That trial date will be,
And we're setting this for a jury trial, ma'am.
it was going to be a bench trial, sir. Are you demanding a jury trial?
No, ma'am, I'm asking for a jury trial.
Okay, Mr. Cottle, if you're asking for a jury trial, you'll be responsible for filing your witness list, your exhibit list, your proposed jury instructions. Are you prepared to do that, sir?
No, ma'am, I'm gonna have to contact a lawyer if that's the case. Miss Medina stepping away from my case. I mean, that, like I said, that was her call. I didn't ask her to leave. She chose to leave. I'm not gonna argue with a defense attorney that doesn't want to defend me. You know what I mean? That's just not good. So,
Mr.
I have
Cottle,
yes, ma'am.
sir, I'm not going to schedule a jury trial right now with you not having retained counsel, indicating that you will retain it, because what happens is our court staff will summon about 40 residents in. And if your attorney is not retained and hasn't filed an appearance and hasn't had the opportunity to review
Well, ma'am,
discovery, the court would not want to reset it up, sir.
Well, I was gonna ask, can I have another court appointed lawyer? Is there another in-house lawyer that I can use other than Miss Medina herself? And honestly, I wouldn't like to use Mr. Batar either.
Well, Mr. Cottle, the issue is the court does not control the court-appointed attorneys. Even though
Okay.
they come for these hearings, they have an office and the court can ask for an attorney be assigned. But if you're having a breakdown of relationships with 2 of the 3 attorneys that are on the screen, it makes it difficult for the court to, I'm happy to send it back to the MIDC coordinator and
Yes,
see if
ma'am.
someone's available, but the court does not order the attorneys to appear on a specific
Well,
document.
ma'am, I'm a Ford worker and we're on strike right now. And I really don't have extra cash to go out and pay a lawyer. So I need a court-appointed lawyer.
Sir, I understand that. I respect the position that Local 900 is in right now.
Yes,
But
ma'am,
this
I have a lot
court-
going on, but I don't have money
I
for another
understand.
attorney, ma'am.
I understand, sir, but here's the thing.
Okay.
I'm looking at what the citation says. I haven't seen the discovery. I have no idea about the details of what happened on that date and time. Mr. Greco has an offer that you won't consider. You ask for a jury trial, but you indicate you're going to retain counsel. So I'm trying to
I
figure
didn't
out how to
indicate
best
I was
move
gonna
us.
retain counsel. I didn't, Miss Medina stepping down, I need counsel from the city of Romulus. I need someone to defend me. I can't afford a lawyer, ma'am. I need a lawyer. That's why I chose to do court appointed. Miss Medina stepping down, you asked me if I agree with her stepping down, ma'am. Well, she clearly didn't want to defend me, okay? I need someone who's actually going to go over my case or review my files, ma'am. You know, I've been here. Like I said, she didn't even know she had the discovery for the last 2 months. She had no idea she had it. So I don't, in this case, it's like I said, I've just been ran around and I need help, and I need a defense attorney that's actually defending me and going over my case.
Okay, sir, here's the thing. When you interrupt me, that's not a good start to how we're going to proceed. I am
Okay.
trying to explain to you that there are procedural things that have to happen. You said retained, you asked for another court appointed because of the strike issue, and I've tried to explain to you that the court does not control who's assigned.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the court can send you back to the coordinator and ask for somebody to be reassigned, but if you're already saying no to Mr. Bitar and no to Mr. Medina, to Ms. Medina, there's only a few other attorneys that are available.
Well, I
And
will take any
so-
other one of those, ma'am.
Again, you interrupting me is not helping because you won't
Okay.
even consider. You know what? We'll send the matter back. We'll see if there's anyone else, well, not anyone else available because the court adjourned the case. The court does not control what court-appointed attorney is assigned to the courtroom on that day. So even if we set a new date with Judge Green on October 16th, if there's still space available on that date, Mary Ann.
It would be October 5th at 10 o'clock.
Sir, what the court will do is reset the final pretrial for October 5th, 2023 at 10 a.m. That will be in number 3 with Judge Green back on Zoom. Court staff will mail notice to you of that date, time, and judge assignment with the Zoom information. The court will send the request to the MIDC coordinator and see if there's someone available to assist you in this matter. When you return for that date with Judge Green, if the decision is made for a trial, whether it be a bench trial or a jury trial, that can be taken up at that date and time. Is there anything else in this matter this morning, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Cottle?
No, ma'am.
Sir, good luck to you. You're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Medina. These are 22RP02996B and 23RP046580M. These are City of Romulus versus Jaylene McKinney. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
And Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Jalen McKinney. Mr. McKinney, please unmute yourself and please say your name.
Jalen McKinney.
Your Honor, for
Thank
purposes
you. Mr. Jadala, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you for 1 second. I called the 2-2 case. That case is in warrant status.
Oh, what was that case?
It's a,
I'm sorry, Judge.
Yeah, I was not aware.
it's 22RP02996BST. It's a state case, driving while license suspended. That is in warrant status.
Your Honor, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute on that, as well as the 2-3 case, if the court would like to call that.
I will, but let's, as a procedural matter, recall the warrant. And this was a driving while license suspended from July 27, 2022. Oh. Mr. McKinney, this court had previously set your bond at 1,000 personal. We'll reset it that way. Because this is a state case, we need to get another date for you. Mary Ann will get one while we take up the Romulus matter of brandishing a firearm in public. Mr. Jadal, I heard you indicate that you're waiving formal reading and standing mute. Any comment as to bond in this matter?
Your Honor, we also respectfully request that you have a personal bond in this matter. Mr. McKinney will abide by all orders and he will appear as directed.
$5,000 personal bond in this matter. Mr. McKinney, you don't need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this matter is resolved in its entirety. For purposes of pretrial, Mr. Jadala.
Your Honor, at this time, we're going to respectfully request discovery and this matter be set for another pretrial so I can review discovery.
Before we do that, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Before we do that, Sammer, can you and I meet in a room on this one?
Absolutely.
Go from there.
Can I
Okay.
come in the room with you guys?
No, sir,
No.
I will talk
No,
to you.
sir.
Mr. McKinney, I will talk to you about what me and the prosecutor discussed. I'll put you in a private breakout room, okay, sir?
Okay, because yeah, I want to talk to you too.
All right. And we're also already on Miss Ford. That should be a summary matter, and then I could go and speak with the prosecutor.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna do, Mr. Jadala. This is two BL 00861 BOT, City of Belleville versus Asia Ford. Ma'am, unmute yourself, turn your video on, and state your name for the record.
Asia Ford.
Your Honor, respectfully,
Mr.
Sammer
Jadala.
Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mrs. Ford. Purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute at this time.
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the city of Belleville.
Thank you. Any comment as to bond, Mr. Jadala?
Your Honor, respectfully request a personal bond. Mrs. Ford will be accepting the offer to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive at this time. Once you call, this is pretrial.
Thank you. If we're going straight to a plea, Ms. Ford, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to discuss this case with Mr. Jadala, and it's your understanding and agreement this morning that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive.
Yes.
Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promising anything to get you to plead guilty.
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on November 21st, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Wayne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Judge.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and will dismiss the driving while license suspended. The court has recalled the warrant that is in place in this matter and will impose the following. There's a $100 fine. There's $100 in cost. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 show cause fee and a $50 warrant fee. There's $50 in mandatory state costs and $20 fund fee. That's $445. Ma'am, do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes.
Ms. Ford, you owe the court on some unrelated matters a total of $1,867 with a payment plan that is supposed to start on October 10th. Court staff can add this case to that payment plan. You will see an invitation to go into a breakout room right now to meet with collection staff. Please go there, talk to them about the 445 that's being added today. Anything else in this case, Mr. Wayne?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Ford, please go in and speak with Maria.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. $11.
Yeah.
Honey, it's 10:48. We are not on 11. We're not talking about 11 o'clock cases at 10:48. Who's the attorney? Why are you just making up stuff? Or maybe have we resolved the Chapman matter? Maybe.
Yes, Your Honor.
I
I know you weren't talking to me.
my
but-
heart.
or-
I'm sorry.
I know you weren't talking to me, but I heard what the court was saying and so I could just butt in. I think Mr. Chapman might be in the waiting room. We do have a
Look,
resolution.
Sir, you didn't butt in. If we can resolve an 11 o'clock case at 10:48, I'm a happy camper.
There we go.
And I can get Officer Brooks off my rail here. You're bringing down the property value, sir.
I just want to know if I had to come upstairs.
You don't want to come upstairs?
No, because we're short.
That hallway is busy.
Yeah.
I went out there looking for Mr. Hadley. earlier. They're all whining. Tell them there's Hot Pockets and Old Donuts downstairs.
Yeah. So I don't have to be up for 11.
Listen, I don't know why you don't want to spend time in courtroom number 1. I don't see Mr. Chapman. I was looking to see if maybe he was in waiting for clerks to verify his information. Let's go slow, make sure we didn't miss him. I don't see him. Officer Brooks is going to see if he checked in person. As soon as he appears, we'll call the matter.
Judge,
Ma'am?
that state date's going to be October 4th at 9 o'clock, with Judge Green. If you still need it.
We'll see when they come out. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Two 3 RP 03973 BOT, City of Romulus versus Caleb Vaughn was scheduled at 8 a.m. It's now 10:50 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this case, bench warrant shall issue 5,000, 10%. These are 23BL00452 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Ezekiel Chapman. May I have your appearance, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the city of Belleville.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein with and on behalf of Mr. Chapman. Mr. Chapman, can you please state your name for the court?
Ezekiel Andrew Chapman.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman. This case was scheduled for a live bench trial at 11 a.m. Everyone's on Zoom. Mr. Bernstein, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, we do have a resolution to put on the record. If I could ask Mr. Wayne to please state that for us.
I knew you were going to ask that.
I can.
Is it what I have in the file, Mr. Wayne?
Yep.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's added count of no ops on person and the driving while license suspended and cracked windshield will be dismissed?
Correct, Your Honor. Yes.
Yes, with a stipulation to probable cause for any and all dismissed counts.
Thank you. Mr. Chapman, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, you had the opportunity to speak with your attorney. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, is your understanding and agreement that you will be tendering a plea of guilty this morning to the added count of no operator's license on person?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it true, sir, that on May 7th, 2023, in the city of Belleville, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chapman, do you also stipulate and agree that on that day, there was probable cause to issue citations to you for driving while license suspended?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you also stipulate and agree that on that day, there was also probable cause to issue citation for a cracked windshield?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Wayne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Bernstein?
Yes, Your
Stein?
Honor.
My apologies, sir. Mr. Chapman, the court will accept your plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person. It will dismiss the equipment violation along with the misdemeanor driving while license suspended. Is there anything you'd like to say before fines and costs are imposed in this matter, sir?
No, Your Honor.
I was asking your attorney, sir.
Oh, no, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chapman, the court will impose the following: a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state costs. There's $20 fund fee. That's $345, sir. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No, ma'am. No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman. 5 days to pay $345. The matters will be deemed resolved with that. Anything else, Mr. Wayne?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Bernstein?
No,
Stein?
Your Honor. No, Your Honor,
Thank
thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wayne.
Thank you.
Mr. Chapman, you're free to go. Good luck to you, sir. You have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Your Honor.
These are, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
These are 22 RP 00168 BOT and 2305870 OD. These are both City of Romulus versus Tyrone Smith Jr. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Tyrone Smith Jr., Your Honor.
Sir, state your name for me, please.
Tyrone Smith Jr.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, on the 22 case, Mr. Smith will plead to no operator's license on person. On the 23 case, he will plead to operating while visibly impaired with a dismissal of the DWLS and reckless driving.
Mr. Smith, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Batar, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, I do.
And sir, after having that conversation, is it your understanding and agreement that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person for the 2022 case?
Yes.
Sir, is it also your understanding and agreement that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to the operating while visibly impaired to the 2023 case?
Yes.
Sir, do you understand that if the court accepts your pleas in these matters, you will not have trials of any kind?
Yes.
You will not have opportunities to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Sir, are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, I am.
Is it true, sir, that on January 18, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes.
Satisfied? Sir, I know you're not grooming in court.
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, as for the no operator's license, the court will impose the following: a fine of $100, cost of $100, $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 show cause fee, $50 warrant fee, $50 late fee, $50 mandatory state cost, and $20 fund fee. That's $495. Mr. Smith, is it also true that on July 22nd, 2023, again in the city of Romulus, you operated a motor vehicle while you were visibly impaired by some intoxicant?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Patar, would you like to inquire further of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, can I just get the time and date, please?
July 22nd, 2023.
Mr. Smith, on that date and time, were you operating a motor vehicle in the city of Romulus?
Yes.
Prior to operating that motor vehicle, had you consumed some alcohol?
Yes.
You remember what you drank?
Couple beers, 2 beers.
You probably had more than 2 beers. You blew a .13 and a .14.
A little bit more than 2 beers.
Okay. And did that alcohol impair your ability to operate the motor vehicle?
Yes.
And Judge, we would stipulate his blood results were .13, .14.
Thank you. Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
I am, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, the court will accept your plea of operating while visibly impaired in the 2023 case and dismiss the driving while license suspended and the reckless driving that had accompanied this charge. Sir, because this is a drinking and driving offense, the next step in these proceedings is to refer the matter to the probation department. They will interview you, develop a sentence recommendation, and schedule you to return to the court for sentence to be imposed. The probation department will be reaching out to you by phone and by email. Please respond to their efforts to be in contact and communication with them. If you fail to respond and present yourself for that interview and the development of the sentence recommendation, do you understand that a bench warrant could issue for you?
Yes.
Thank you. Other than that, sir, you have some unrelated matters where you owe the court $642 for a speeding ticket and no proof of insurance. If you have not done so, please contact the court's collection department to set up a payment plan. There is a collection agent on Zoom right now. Are you in a position to go into a breakout room with Maria from the court's collection staff to set payment plans for these other matters?
Yes.
You'll see an invitation to go into the breakout room with Maria. She'll set you on a payment plan for those other matters, along with the $495 from today's no operator's license on person, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Good luck
Can I-
to you.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
The operating while visually impaired, those fines will come when I see probation, right?
Those fines and costs will be assessed when you come back to me for sentencing.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
All right, have a good day.
You too. This is a recall of the McKinney matters. Mr.
Senator
Jadala, you had an opportunity to speak to both the prosecutor and your client.
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll let the prosecutor put on the record how we're proceeding today, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the prosecution is moving to dismiss the matter. The city of Romulus does not have a brandishing ordinance. And I've informed Mr. Jadala that the matter will be likely or may be sent downtown the state.
And I've explained that to Mr. McKinney, and he understands, Your Honor, how we're proceeding today.
Thank you. Mr. McKinney, were you able to hear the conversation between the attorneys just now?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. This case is hereby dismissed. Mr. Jadala asked for the state matter. The court had recalled the warrant, set bond already at 1,000 personal. Mr. McKinney, you will have a pretrial on October 4th, 2023 at 9 a.m. And that will be by Zoom in number 3 with Judge Green. That's a Wednesday. This is a state matter. This driving while license suspended. Court staff will mail notice to you at the address you verified, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. That concludes these matters, Mr. McKinney. You're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
Okay, I got a question for my attorney too.
Your Honor, you can place him back in the MIDC rating room, and I'll speak to him once I have these 2 matters complete that I have for this court.
Thank you. Mr. McKinney, Mr. Jadala will be there momentarily. Please follow the invitation to the breakout. This is 20 RP 071760M, City of Romulus versus John Raven. May I have your appearances?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Raven.
Yes, John Raven here.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the final pretrial. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, after speaking with the prosecution, witnesses have failed to appear. We'll be asking for dismissal in this matter.
Your Honor, contact was sent to the victims with the date and time and information how to appear here. I have not received any phone calls. My office has not, and I am not aware of anyone appearing today.
Thank you, sir. This case having been scheduled at 10:20, it now being 11:04 by the court's clock, complainants having failed to appear. Defense motion to dismiss is hereby granted. Mr. Raven, the bond you posted will be refunded to you less administrative fees. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further on this case, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Raven, you're free to go. Good luck to you, sir. You have a wonderful day.
Have a good day, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your Honor, if I could
You're
trouble,
welcome.
I'm sorry, Judge, if I could trouble the court to call the Rapaj matter, RRAPAJ.
23 RP 040850M, City of Romulus versus Cesar Rapaj, your appearances.
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Rapaj. Your Honor, Mr. Rapaj has checked in. He's been checked in around 10:20. He's in the MIDC waiting room. When he first checked in, I spoke with him. I believe he's having some communication issues. He isn't responsive when I try to reach out to him, but today's the date set for a final pretrial. If the prosecutor doesn't object, I believe complaining witnesses have failed to appear. We're going to be moving for dismissal.
I'm sorry, what do you mean he's not responsive?
He's not opening his microphone or his camera. He's not responding to me trying to transfer him to another breakout room. I went into the waiting room. I called his name a few times. I'm not sure if he knows how to control his device, but initially he did speak to me and I explained to him that we were just waiting to see if anybody appeared.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, he is clearly in the waiting room. You could still see his name and he did check in with the clerks. I just would ask to waive his appearance on the record for this dismissal if there's no objection by the court or the prosecution.
And Your Honor, for my part, on behalf of the city of Romulus, communication was sent to the victim in this matter. I have not received a phone call. My office has not, and I'm not aware of anyone appearing today.
I guess my concern, Mr. Jadala, is that I have it as a pretrial. Do you?
I believe the prosecutor and I both have it as the final pretrial. We confirmed that. And I don't.
If that is, I'm interrupting you, Mr. Jadala, because if that's your understanding and agreement and Mr. Greco's agreement, the court will find that this case was scheduled at 10:30. It's now 11:07 by the court's clock. The complainants have failed to appear. The complainants failed to appear. Defense motion to dismiss is granted. Anything else in this case, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. And Judge, Mr. McKinney seems to still be in the main session. If you'd like to speak with me, I don't know if the court can direct him to the waiting room.
Marianne will help Mr. McKinney get moved into the, into that breakout to meet with you. This is 2306450M. This is City of Romulus versus Matthew Harris. Your appearance, please.
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Harris, Your Honor.
Good morning, Matthew Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Today is the day and time set for the final pretrial. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Mr. Harris is going to plead guilty to disorderly conduct. There is stipulated restitution in the amount of $301.
Mr. Harris, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you
Yes,
swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Harris, you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Batari. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalty.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your understanding and agreement that you'll be entering a plea of guilty to the added count of being a disorderly person and the original charge of assault and battery will be dismissed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
I understand.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I understand.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris, is it true that on August 22nd, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you were a disorderly person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Battar, would you like to inquire further of your client?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
I am, Your Honor, and just also for the record, the victim, Mr. Jacob Collins, is on the screen and is present, and he and I spoke, and he's in agreement with this plea.
Is that accurate, Mr. Collins?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, the court accepts your plea of being guilty to being a disorderly person. The original assault and battery is dismissed. Is there anything you'd like to say before fines and costs are imposed in this matter, Mr. Battar?
Your Honor, the only thing I would add is the stipulated restitution of $301. We would ask the court to give him 90 days to pay that restitution. He lost his job as a result of this, and he's going to be going to, I think it's Focus Hope. You're going to Focus Hope, Mr. Harris?
Yeah. Yes,
Try and
sir.
work on getting a job there, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, the court will impose the following: $100 fine, $100 in cost, $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, and $20 fund fee. The restitution of $301, that's $646 total with 90 days to pay. Is that correct, Mr. Battar?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Harris, you will have 90 days to pay the restitution and the fines and costs that have been imposed in this matter. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Battar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, you are free to go. Mr. Collins, thank you for appearing this morning. You're free to go, sir.
You're welcome.
I thought Mr.
Thank you, Your
McKinney
Honor.
was going somewhere.
Hey, I sent him an invitation, Judge, but he hasn't accepted.
Thank you, sir. If you're laying down, you need to sit up because this is in fact court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Jadal, I believe, is in the breakout room. When he comes back, I'll get your case called, sir. Oh, he's back that fast. These are 230607 OM and 22RP 04386 OM. These are both City of Romulus versus DeAndre Sanders. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, Your Honor. David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Richardala, from 62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Sanders. Your Honor,
Mr.
today's the
Sanders,
date and
state your
time-
name for me, sir.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
DeAndre Sanders.
Thank you. Mr. Jadala.
Today's the date and time set for a pretrial. Mr. Greco did provide me discovery. I've gone over this matter with Mr. Sanders. At this time, he's going to avail himself to the plea whereby he'll be pleading guilty to 1 count of disorderly person and 1 count of resisting arrest. The assault and battery, the threats, and interfering with police are being dismissed pursuant to the plea, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Sanders, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to discuss this matter with Mr. Jadala. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, I do.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding and agreement that you'll be pleading guilty to being a disorderly person and guilty to resisting, I'm sorry. Resisting arrest. Was that correct, Mr. Jadala?
Correct, Your Honor. One count of disorderly, one count of resisting. The rest are being dismissed.
That's your understanding, Mr. Sanders.
Yes,
And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
I do.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I do.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
I do.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
Not at all, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty, sir, because you are in fact guilty?
I am guilty, and that's why I'm pleading guilty.
Thank you. Mr. Sanders, is it true that on February 7th, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you were a disorderly person?
I was, Your Honor.
More specifically, sir, that you engaged in a course of conduct that was likely to cause substantial harm or serious inconvenience and noise or alarm,
Yes,
and failed to disperse after the police ordered you to do so?
I did, Your Honor.
Sir, is it also true that on February 7th, 2023, again in the city of Romulus, that you did resist arrest by intentionally preventing or attempting to prevent a police officer in their official capacity from effecting a lawful arrest of you?
I did.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanders, the court accepts your pleas of guilty to count 2, being a disorderly person, count 3, resisting arrest, and will dismiss count 1, assault and battery, count 3, threats, and in the companion file, dismiss the interfering with police. Mr. Greco, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client before fines and costs are assessed?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, he has taken, Mr. Sanders has taken full responsibility for his actions that day. He understands the wrong. He's learned from it, Your Honor. This will never happen again. He will never be before this court again.
Thank you. Mr. Sanders, the court will impose the following. As for count 2, it's a $100 fine, $100 in costs. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee.
Okay.
Count 3, the resisting will be a $100 fine, $100 cost, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. If my math is right, that puts us, sir, at $615. Do you need
Okay.
more than 5 days to pay that amount, sir?
No, I'm about to come in and pay it today.
Then I'll indicate on the register of action, sir, 5 days to pay. Anything else in this case, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. Good day to you, sir.
You too, Your
You're
Honor.
free to go.
Thank you. I'll be
Thank
down
you.
there to pay my fines today.
Thank you, sir. This is 23RP 042020M, City of Romulus versus Deontay Lang. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, Your Honor. David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Lang, Your Honor.
State your name for me, please, sir. Oh, Mr. Lang, you're muted. I'm sorry.
Good.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Deontay Lang.
Thank you, Mr. Lang. Today is the day and time set for the final pretrial. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Mr. Batar's case, Judge.
Oh. Wait, what did I?
You said Mr. Jadala.
And I'm looking right at you. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, today was the final pretrial where the complainant Joseph Stewart was ordered to appear. I've been paying attention. I did not see a Mr. Stewart appear at any time this morning. We're moving to dismiss the charges.
And once again, Your Honor, communication was sent to the victim in this matter, informing them of the date, time, and the manner in which the proceeding and the information to participate. I have not received a phone call. I'm not aware that my office has, and I have not seen the victim appear this morning.
Thank you. This case having been scheduled at 10:50, it now being 11:19 by this court's clock, the complainant having failed to appear, defense motion to dismiss is granted. That concludes this matter. Mr. Lang, you're free to go. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. You have a beautiful day.
You too, sir. Thank you. Mr. Duncan, did you need to speak to
It's
Mr.
available.
Wayne?
No, Your Honor, I do believe that we've worked it out. We talked yesterday.
This is 23BL007000OT. This is City of Belleville versus Lee Bakewell. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Wayne on behalf of the city of Belleville.
Hello, Your Honor. Murray Duncan appearing on behalf of the defendant Lee Bakewell, who is seated to my right.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Lee Bakewell, Your Honor.
Thank you. Today was the day and time set for the bench trial. Mr. Wayne, how are we proceeding?
And you're going to ask me that, Your Honor. Mr. Duncan?
Yes, the charge of driving on a suspended license will be dismissed, and Mr. Bakewell will plead responsible to a double parking ticket.
And he would stipulate to probable cause on the driving while license suspended dismissal.
Yes.
Well, here's my concern. Officer Wickham just came strolling in here. Did anyone tell him that this was going to be on Zoom with a plea?
I don't know, Judge. This was worked out actually within a couple of days of our hearing, and then it was this confirmed yesterday.
I don't believe I
Mr.
subpoenaed
Bakewell,
Officer
raise your-
Wickham here.
I'm sorry?
I said, I don't believe I subpoenaed Officer Wickham, so I can't speak to that.
Mr. Bakewell, raise your right hand for me, sir.
Yes, Your
Do
Honor.
you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to discuss this case with Mr. Duncan, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And after
Yeah.
having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding and agreement that you'll be tendering a plea of responsible to the added count of double parking and the original charge of driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. Second offense will be dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible.
No, Your Honor.
Sir, is it true that on July 19, 2023, in the city of Belleville, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Bakewell, do you stipulate and agree that the police have probable cause to issue a citation to you on that date and time for driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied as a second offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Wayne, satisfied?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Duncan?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Bakewell. The court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking and will dismiss the original charge as indicated. Was there any conversation about the fine in this matter, gentlemen?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Bakewell, the court will impose a fine of $200, sir. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No, 5 days is enough.
5 days to pay, and that will conclude this matter. Anything else, Mr. Wayne?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Duncan?
No, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bakewell. Good luck to you, sir. You have a wonderful day.
You also, Your Honor.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Wonderful. Do you have an 8-year-old?
A what?
8-year-old?
I have a 9 and a 10 year.
9 and 10. I remember one time there was something going on and I thought you said there was a 5-year-old and I had to think, I said, it's been enough years where, oh my gosh. How's everything going?
That's going well.
Good.
I had some yesterday. I think didn't go out. It's
Uh-uh. No, I'm sorry. Oh,
she
sweetie,
does.
I'm sorry to hear that. Okay,
Yeah, doing all right.
okay. Oh, sorry.
All right. Yeah, so yeah, they told me I had to be here in 2 weeks for 11 o'clock. And he told me they took a plea, so
Yeah, we just did the plea on the 11:30.
he said we'll send you in once.
I'm glad to see you though. I don't see you anymore.
I'm trying.
I was at Egan's yesterday. It was like, try to hang out in Belleville from time to time. It was fun. It's something a little different for us. Take your cap off, sir. I'll call your case in just a minute. Good to see you.
All right, you too. We'll talk.
Yes, sir. How's my favorite attorney?
Just want to tell you, I was talking with the officers last night who just could not stop going on about his favorite judge who came and watched him stuff his face with donuts.
I embarrassed my husband because I wouldn't stop screaming. We have been parking cars all morning. And we're running to watch this contest and we ran into the chief. So we chit chatted with him. Mr. Batar, I'm sorry, I'll call are you standing in for Mr. Mr. Jadala?
Yes, Judge, I could do that if you'd like.
Well, okay, are you busy? Do you have a second?
I was, yeah.
23 RP 042030 OM, City of Romulus versus Wendell Newberry.
Daniel Batar, on behalf of Mr. Newberry, Your Honor, I'm standing in for Mr. Jadala.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Wendell Newberry.
Thank you. Today was the day and time set for the final pretrial. Was scheduled at 10:30. It's now 11:26 by the court's clock.
That is correct, Your Honor. Joseph Stewart, the complainant in this matter, has not appeared today. We're asking the court to dismiss the matter.
The complainant having failed to appear, defense motion to dismiss is granted. Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Newberry, you're free to go. Good luck to you, sir. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Samer, just put that on your docket sheet, please.
Well,
And Judge, am I free to go? It's about 11:30. I don't see anybody else around waiting.
I think the last thing we're doing is Mr. Henson's case. So thank you, sir. You're free to go. Thanks for your help this morning.
Thank you, Judge. Good to see you. Mary Ann, have a great day.
Thanks, Dan, you too.
Are we talking about the contest winner?
No, the second place.
What was second place? Oh,
He had to call me about a traffic matter yesterday. And so he just happened to mention, I don't know how it came up. They were talking about, he was like, she's hungry.
Mr. Wayne, do you mind joining me in your meeting room briefly?
He was like, "Ian, she wanted stuff like this."
Are you talking to me? I'm sorry.
I cannot picture him eating donuts.
it
And I
was
like, "How?"
hilarious.
He's like, I came and said, "How many donuts did you eat?" And I was like, "And how's
Kevin was like, you are such a weirdo. Because I just put this stuff on our calendar.
Yeah.
And we went, he's like, how did you even find this stuff?
Yeah. I told him, I was like, I didn't hear anything about this. I was like, but I'm coming next year because I would like to see this.
I found little trophies and a dress with donuts on it and everything. And I wanted to order the dress so bad. And Kevin was like, absolutely not.
He doesn't want you to have anyone.
Well, he's like, it's bad enough that you're there screaming like a crazy person. I said, but I was equally screaming for all the departments. Well, because we had gone to the other one in Allen Park and this big officer from Ann Arbor, he was squeezing them and popping them in his mouth. It's funny to watch people with their different strategies.
Apparently there's a lot of ways to eat a donut.
Who knew? And there was a detective from Romulus, Rice, who ate two in Allen Park, and then he's fallen out. Yes,
Hey,
Mr.
Judge.
Greco.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know you guys are having a conversation, but, okay, no, it's fine.
We're not having a conversation. I was waiting for Mr.
Oh,
Jadala to come
okay.
back.
No,
from
no,
Mr.
no, no, it's
Hanson.
fine. No, it's fine. No, I'm good, Judge. I'm good.
I'm sorry, Mr. Greco. I didn't think that Mr. Jadala was ready.
No, he's not ready. I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there he is.
Two, three RP 043450 City of Romulus versus William Henson. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Your Honor, respectfully, Samer Jadala, P62186. Counsel for Mr. Henson. Mr. Henson, please say your name for the record.
My name is William Henson.
Thank you, Mr. Henson. Today is the day and time set for the final pretrial. The court notes that Mr. Craig Dickerson is in the prosecutor's meeting room. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, respectfully, at this time, I respectfully request this court, if there is no objection, for another final pretrial. I will not require the complaining witness to appear. There's some documentation that Mr. Henson wants to share with me that I in turn want to share with Mr. Greco. So I just like the opportunity to exchange those documents and review them and give them to Mr. Greco.
Thank you, sir. That final pretrial date will be
October 5th at 10:10.
the final pretrial of this matter will be reset to October 5th at 10:10 a.m. and that will be in number 3 by Zoom with Judge Green. The victim in this case, Mr. Craig Dickerson, does not need to appear at that October 5th date. Mr. Henson, the new date, time, and judge assignment will be mailed to you at the address you verify with court staff. Is there anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. Mr. Henson, you're free to go. Mr. Dickerson, thank you for your appearance this morning. You're free to go, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I will note that it is 11:31. The last thing that this court had scheduled was at 11:30, and the plea has already been taken in that matter. There are no persons in the court's breakout sessions. There are no other parties in this court's main session. Unless you just want to hear the failures to appear being placed on the record, Mr. Wayne, Mr. Greco, Mr. Jadala, Mr. Hadley, and Baird are free to leave the session.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Very good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Judge, if I
Have a
just
good day, everyone.
on some housekeeping issues, Your Honor, if I may ask if a Mr. Sean Norris or Christian Harris appeared.
Sean Norris? No, he did not appear. And the other one was Christian,
Harris
did not appear, sir.
and what last one was Beck Marshall.
Marshall, M-A-R-S-H-A-L?
Yes, it's a hyphenated Beck Marshall, so B-E-C-K.
Oh, Beck Marshall.
Correct.
No, did not appear, sir.
Thank you, Judge, and I'm sorry, Your Honor, if my crazy unexpected schedule caused any chaos this morning. I apologize.
It was fine, sir. Thank you.
Just to let you know, the victim failed to appear in my jury trial. That's how I was able to log on at 10 o'clock.
I wondered about that. I thought you were going to be tied up all day.
Yeah, I did too.
All right. So long, Judge. So long, everyone.
Everyone have a nice weekend.
Goodbye.
Thanks.
These are 23BL00729 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Deanna Dickinson. These matters are scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 8:30. It's now 11:33 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. The matters will be set for show cause. The civil infraction, which is the A file, will be deemed in default. Yes, Mr. Batur,
I'm back for more.
what are you back for?
Judge and Mary Ann, I think I wrote down a couple of incorrect dates for the next pre-trials on cases. Stephen Gillespie and Cecil Coleman. Can you just
Would you
tell me
go
what-
into, I don't have them. Would you go into a breakout room with Mary Ann and she'll look them up for you, please?
Yes, Judge, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you know what? I'm on my iPad now, though. I can't move myself.
Oh,
There we go. I got it.
we're done unless you just. Hi.
And I thought I was gonna get tagged in there. I know I had my screen turned off for a second. I forgot I had logged out. I caught the tail end of something on your docket where I was like, she's gonna say, Mr. Hadley, can you hear me? I'd like you to meet so and so.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't do that. 20BL00619 AOT. This is City of Belleville versus Christian Harris. Defendant failed to appear. Matter will be set for show cause. I don't do that. And as I indicated, the court takes no position as to what assignments happen.
Fair. Well, thank you for letting me jockey back and forth between the two today. I appreciate your patience while I was running my other one.
No worries.
Have a great afternoon.
You too, sir. These are 23BL00760 A, B, and C. These are City of Belleville versus Abril Lester Smith. These matters were scheduled at 8:30. It is now 11:36 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the A file misdemeanor will be set for show cause. The B and C files will be deemed in default. What are you looking for? He left, yes. Thanks, Tim. This is 22RP036520T. This is the City of Romulus versus DeMarco Moore. The case was scheduled at 8:30. It is now 11:37 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Matter will be set for show cause. This is 23BL00723OM. This is City of Belleville versus Daquan Harrison. The matter was scheduled at 8:40 a.m. It is now 11:38 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, matter will be set for show cause. These are 23 BL 00351 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Laura Chestnut. The matters were scheduled for pretrial at 8:50. It's now 11:39 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, these matters will be set for show cause. This is 2305530D. This is City of Romulus versus Patrick Manici. This case was scheduled at 8:50. It is now 11:41 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the matter will be set for show cause. This is 2306140M. This is City of Romulus versus Thomas Mills. This case was scheduled at 8:50 a.m. It's now 11:41 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, matter will be set for show cause. This is 22BL01012OT. This is City of Belleville versus Trevor Stanberry. The matter was scheduled for pretrial at 8:50. It's now 11:42 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, matter will be set for show cause. This is 23RP04256OT. This is City of Romulus versus Shayla Davis. The case was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:10. It's now 11:43 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, a matter will be set for show cause. This is 23RP043330T. This is City of Romulus versus Terrell Moore. The matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:10 a.m. It's now 11:43 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the matter will be set for show cause. These are 23BL00740OM and 23BL00740M. These are City of Belleville versus Michael Sisler. The matters were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9 a.m. It's now 11:44 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the matters will be set for show cause. Two 3BL008170T, City of Belleville versus Darian Bradford. The matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:20 a.m. It's now 11:45 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, matter will be set for show cause. These are 23W560909 A and B. These are Wayne County Sheriffs versus German Grigorich. These matters were scheduled at 9:20 a.m. It is now 11:46 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the A file will be set for show cause. The B file, civil infraction, will be deemed in default. This is 1951020M, City of Romulus versus Selena Coyle. Matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:30. It's now 11:47 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the matter will be set for show cause. This is 23BL00965 COD. This matter was scheduled for pretrial at 9:30. It is now 11:48 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the case is in warrant status and will stay that way.
Judge, I'll take her in a breakout room.
Thank you. This is 23RP043900M. This is City of Romulus versus Miranda Germain. The case was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:40. It's now 11:50 by the court clock. The defendant having failed to appear, matter will be set for show cause. These are 23RP044111 A, B, and C. These are City of Romulus versus Jamari Dickerson. They were scheduled for 9:50 a.m. It is now 11:50 a.m. by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the A file will be set. The A file, which is a civil infraction, will be deemed in default. The B and C files will be set for show cause.
So you want some breakfast, Sarah?
Good morning, Ms. Chapman. Oh. These are 23RP0446 A, B, and C. These are City of Romulus versus Rico Simmons. Cases were scheduled at 10 o'clock. It's now 11:52 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the A and C file, civil infractions will be deemed in default. The B file misdemeanor will be set for show cause.